Trinadapi Sunichena Toradeba Sihishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Harinama 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 Vakivalam Kalau Nastyeva 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 Gatiranyata. Welcome everybody. I send you all my blessings that I possibly can give you. Today, I'm in an extremely good mood. One of the best moods I've been in a long time. And it just so happens, my wife was asking me this morning, what was I going to speak about? And I said, as of yet, Krishna did not send me the text message. But by 2 o'clock, the message came. Actually, there were 2 text messages, but the second one overrided the first one. So, for some reason, Krishna wants me to speak on the first chapter of the Nārada Bhakti Sutras. Narada's disciple, Vyasadeva, is famous for writing the Vedanta Sutras or Brahma Sutras. And that Vedanta Sutra is very technical and extremely difficult to understand, which is why Nārada later told Vyasadeva, you should take everything that you have explained in the Vedanta Sutra and summarize it in your final masterpiece known as Srimad Bhagavatam. But his guru, Vyasa's guru, Nārada, also has his sutras, the Bhakti Sutras, because Nārada is a Shakti-Avesh avatar. He is an empowered living entity. He has been given special powers by Lord Krishna. Nārada has a veena, but that veena was given to him by Krishna. And that veena does not go twang, twang, twang. No, that veena sounds Radhika Ramana, Radhika Ramana, Radhika Ramana. This way, Nārada is always in spiritual ecstasy, because the instrument given to him by Krishna is a transcendental instrument. Therefore, Nārada is always in Krishna consciousness. Now, before I speak on this first chapter, I need to give you some background information on the author. So before we continue, I ask everyone to fold your hands over your heart and repeat after me the 12-syllable mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we find the history of Nārada. And Nārada reveals this history himself. Here we see this picture of Nrsingadev killing Hiranyakashipu, and Prahlad is offering the garland. So that Leela is told by Nārada to Maharaj Yudhishthira at the time of the Rajasuya sacrifice of Yudhishthira. So after telling the narration of Nrsinga, at some point Nārada informs Yudhishthira, in a previous life I was a Gandharva. Gandharvas are the heavenly musicians. So this, and his name was Upabarhana. And Upabharna was expert musician and singer and had a very beautiful body, Nārada tells him. And he says, but I made a big mistake. One time there was a Sankirtan festival, like what we're doing today is a Sankirtan festival, glorifying Krishna. Sankirtan, actually some kirtan, complete kirtan, complete. So Nārada says in the heavenly planets, there was a Sankirtan festival, and I decided to sing songs glorifying the other devatas, because Sankirtan means Hari Kirtan or Krishna Kirtan. So it was inappropriate for Nārada to sing the glories of the other devatas during this Sankirtan festival. So when Nārada was doing this, just like we have temple managers here, they have managers in the heavenly planets too. And so they cursed this Upabharna. What? You're singing ordinary songs while we're worshiping Hari? Everybody say Hari. That's good. Now I see that you're awake. Good, you get the bell. So the managers, they said, Upabharna, you are unfit to dwell in these heavenly planets. You will immediately take birth as a Sudra on earth. So immediately, Upabharna, who had a demigod Gandharva body, immediately fell down and took birth as Shudra, the son of his mother was very fortunate. Now, the next part of Nārada's history is again told by Nārada, but in this case, he's telling it to his disciple, Vyasadeva. Because Vyasadeva had asked him, how did you become self-realized? And that's something that's significant. If somebody claims to be self-realized, you have the right to ask them, how did you become self-realized? And by hearing their story, you can judge whether somebody is bluffing or not. So when Vyasadeva asked Nārada, my dear Guru Dev, please tell me how you became self-realized. Nārada told him that he was a young boy, and where was his mother? His mother was in a dharmshala. You all, those of you in India, you know what is dharmshala. The sadhus and rishis, they go there, especially, and Nārada says, these bhakti Vedantas took shelter during the Chaturmasya period, the 4 months of the rainy season. So generally, historically, rishis and sadhus, they don't travel during that time. They stay in one place. So Nārada's mother was a maidservant in this dharmshala. And the young boy was 5 years old. And so he was helping his mother, and he would collect the plates after they ate prasad, and he would clean. But Nārada was very keen on hearing their discussions. He liked what they were discussing. Nārada tells Vyasadeva, as a young boy, I wasn't interested in sports or playing. I was not attracted. But I liked hearing from those sages. And he said, one time, I asked permission, can I eat your remnants? And Nārada said they gave permission, yes. And Nārada explains to Vyas that as soon as he ate the remnants of the food, something happened to him inside. He had a complete inner transformation. In my case, when I met my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, when I saw him for the first time, just like I'm seeing you, I also had a tremendous transformation. I will never forget that first meeting, even though it was in April of 1973. I still can remember, if I close my eyes, I can still remember seeing him. And I had a complete inner transformation that, yes, I have found my guru. I have found the real thing. So Nārada said, after eating the remnants, I had a complete change of heart. And so, as those sadhus were leaving, they blessed Nārada, and they taught him bhakti. They taught him a process of bhakti. Bhakti has 9 processes. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. 9 different processes. So these Bhakti Vedantas, they taught Nārada bhakti. And as they were leaving, they blessed him. Just like anyone who's interested, after the arti, as you're going up, anyone who comes by, I also give blessings free of charge. Anyone who wants. I have my special Nisringa Pavitra, you can get blessed. So the Bhaktivedantas left. Then later one day, Nārada's mother went out to get milk, milking a cow. And when she went out to milk the cow, a serpent bit her on the leg and she died. So now Nārada has no one to look after him. He's all by himself. But Nārada decided, okay, these sadhus, they taught me something. So Nārada started to walk. And he walked a long distance. And then he went to a forest. And he sat down under a tree. And then, he's only a 5-year-old boy. He sits under the tree and he practices the bhakti that these sages taught him. It's a meditation on Krishna in the heart. So the young boy is meditating on Krishna in the heart, and Krishna personally appears to him. Just like Krishna is here, is he not? He's appearing before you. You're seeing Krishna right now. So, Nārada, in his meditation, Krishna actually appeared to him. And Krishna blessed him. And then Krishna disappeared. And Nārada said, oh my God, because Nārada explains that when he saw Krishna, he felt like he was one. He felt no separation. He said, when I was seeing Krishna, all the limbs of my body were separately enlivened. This is spiritual ecstasy. All of the limbs of his body were extremely enlivened, and he was happy beyond description. But then Krishna disappeared. So he said, oh no, I want Krishna to come back. So he again began meditation. But Krishna did not come. And he tried, and he tried, and he tried. And then he heard a voice.
Nārada, I regret to inform you that you will not see me again in this life. And I'm doing this to teach you a lesson. I have shown you my form once, just so that you will hanker to see it again and again. And by your hankering to see my form, you will become purified. And that's exactly what happened.
Because Nārada had actually seen Krishna, anything else was of no value to him. He spent the rest of his life just hankering, when will I see that beautiful form of Krishna? Because Krishna's form is like in the Vedas, they say that Kandarpa, Cupid, is most beautiful. But Krishna is the attractor of Cupid. That means Krishna is more attractive than Cupid. He's called Madan Mohan. And then there's somebody more attractive than Krishna. She is known as Madana Mohana Mohani, Srimati Radha Thakurani. So Nārada was simply hankering to see. Then Nārada tells Vyasadeva, at some point, I gave up that body. Like lightning, we just gave it up. And he took his next birth. He came out of the body of Brahma. But this time, he has a transcendental body in the form of Nārada the Rishi. He doesn't have a material body. He has a spiritual body. And Nārada has some opulences. He can see past, present, future. Wouldn't we love to have that feature? Stock market, here we come. If we could see past, present, and future. But that's reserved for very special people like Nārada. And I explained he has that instrument. He tells Vyasadeva, I have this instrument. And not only that, you all know, when you want to go back to India, you have to go through so much trouble, right? TSA, and you have to do this and do that, and sit on the plane for 15, 16, 17, 20 hours, depending on which route you take. But Nārada doesn't need any airplane. He is a transcendental spaceman. He can fly at will. He has that siddha. He has that perfection, that he can fly at will. And therefore, Nārada, he can travel anywhere in the universe. He can go to hell. He can go to heaven. Bhagavatam describes how he appeared during the Krishna Leela on earth. He was there for Krishna's pastimes. He can go to the spiritual world. He can go anywhere, no restrictions. So that gives you a little bit of background of who this Nārada is. So everybody chant the Maha Mantra one time.